go. Bring it up, baby. Let's go. Daddy on me. Daddy on me. 1, 2, 3, go.
What is good, YouTube? How is everybody doing? Hope everybody's having a fantastic Tuesday, man. Shout out to everyone who already viewed the video that we dropped this morning. It was on Josh Jacobs' contract situation, so if you'd like to learn a little bit more about that, go ahead and check that out. It's on the channel already for you guys to look at. And before we get into today's topics, man, I want to give a big shout out to all of you guys, man, because I've only been doing this back for 3 days, and we've already hit 7,000 subscribers. We were about 100 or so away, and you guys in 3 days got me back to it, man. So I appreciate every single one of you guys who subscribed, who joined the fam, who's been watching the videos, who's been clicking like. It is all greatly appreciated, and thanks to you guys, we've hit 7,000 subscribers on the road to 8. Then after that is 9. Then we hit the Big 10, hopefully sooner rather than later. But check it out, you guys. Let's kick it off how we always kick it off. Let's get these shout-outs in for everyone who's already in the building. We got Terry. We got Fitzy. We got Dominique. Omicron in the building. Mr. Raider Nation. OG Raider. John Stale. Who else? We got Alfredo Robert in the building. Derek Vehicle. What is going on, my guys? Markel Blazing. Tavio, my guy. Robert again, he says, Andy, we got you. Appreciate y'all for real. Bert in the building says, yo, what's good? Graham says, let's talk about it. Orlando Padilla says, what's up? What's good with everybody in the building? Like I said, man, again, thank you guys. 7K subs. We were 100 away, and you guys got us there. You guys got me there quick, man. So thank you. We are going to continue to keep this consistency up. But as you guys can see, man, we signed a good amount of players to contracts, right? After the season, our season was over. Once the regular season is over, the NFL allows teams to do something called future reserve contracts, which means that to start off the offseason, to start off camp, these guys will be here at least to start training camp on the practice squad. So we've got a few of them. We're going to talk about them because a couple of them I like, a couple of them I'm not too familiar with. So we're going to check in with those. But yeah, shout out to everybody who's in here already. Hit that like button. Shout out to everybody else. We got DeMarcus in the building, Ken in the building, the numbers. We got my guy A in the building. But look, let me pull up the list for you guys. We got Joel in here. Let me pull up the list for you guys so that you guys can see it as well. Let's see. As you can see right here, we've got the list of some of the guys already. So Isaiah Brown, we know that we brought him in a while ago. He stayed on the practice squad. Now, personally, if we're looking at this list, this is probably my favorite player, if I'm going to be honest with you. Favorite player on this future reserve contract list that we signed is Bryce Cosby. Bryce Cosby is a guy who, in preseason, in camp, he played very well. He's a guy that, had multiple pass breakups in preseason, multiple tackles. He had a forced fumble all in the preseason. I was surprised that with the amount of corners that went down, we didn't give him a shot. But bringing Bryce Cosby back for me is a very big thing, because earlier on in the season, he did get released from the practice squad, but he came back, battled back, and got himself a future reserve contract for this upcoming training camp. So that's dope. And then we got Julian Diaz. This is a punter. He's actually a left-footed punter, so he'll give us a good look during camp of, other punters that we're going to play. For those of you guys who don't know, a left-footed punter has a lot of different spin on the ball, so the ball does go a lot of different ways with a left-footed punter. So that's something like that. Jalen Elliott, not too familiar with him, Cole Fotheringham was one of the UDFAs that we signed in the offseason right after the draft. This guy is a very, very good run blocking tight end. I believe that we elevated him 2 or 3 times this season. He hasn't recorded a touchdown in the last 4 years, whether it was in college or this past season in the NFL as well. He hasn't recorded a touchdown, but he is a major piece in run blocking if you'd like to have him out there. Vitali, we know that he was on and off the squad. This guy is pretty new. Sebastian Gutierrez, this guy right here is 6'6". Believe he's 304 pounds as well. So very, very interested in that. But right here we have Kanai Mauga, somebody that I was surprised with that we brought back. Very, very happy. I actually was looking at him in the draft. I believe it was last year or the previous offseason. He's somebody that has a lot of good traits as well, could develop into something good, a downhill linebacker. As we know, we did struggle with the linebacker department, which is a little bit tough, right? I felt like we could have gave other guys chances instead of just signing guys to kind of just plug and play. We weren't playing for much at the end of the season. So Kanai Mauga is somebody that we signed to a future reserves contract with the Raiders. Jordan Meredith, we know that he was up and down on the Raiders roster. This is a big one. DJ Turner, right? He made the 53-man roster, and then he was dropped back down, made the 53-man roster again, and then got hit and played on IR and then had to go on IR. So I'm happy to see that they're trying to make a small commitment to DJ by signing him to a future reserves contract and not just letting him hit the open market right away. Austin Walter, this guy right here was a preseason standout. If you guys don't remember, he would come in for once the game was kind of over in the preseason and put up like 20, 30, 40 yards in an instant. So Austin Walter, a nice little preseason standout, as well with Isaiah Suber. If you guys remember, he didn't have any catches on offense, but he went out there and got an interception on defense when they put him in there. So he's a guy that offers some versatility, wide receiver as well as a safety. So these are all guys that we signed yesterday, I believe, and today to future reserve contracts. So these are all guys that the Raiders decided to keep and have at least with them until training camp. So that is a mini commitment that the Raiders have made to all of those players. So it's interesting, right? Interesting. I think my top 3 guys on that list was Bryce Cosby, obviously DJ Turner, and Kanai Mauga. Those guys right there really, really, really intrigue me. I like all 3 of those guys. Bryce Cosby is a slot guy that has versatility to play the strong safety position. A lot of people didn't really want to give him a shot because he was 5'10", but I disagree with that, right? If we're going to give a guy like Amik that shot, I think we should give him that chance as well. I really, really like Bryce Cosby. I have a film study on this channel about Bryce Cosby as well for what he was able to do for us in the preseason. So if you guys would like to check that out, it's on the channel as well. Just search up Bryce Cosby film study. It should be out there on YouTube. But all of those guys are all locked in to be in the preseason with us, or not preseason, to be in training camp with us later on as we get closer to August. So we'll see what happens with those guys. But now that we went through those guys, if you guys would like to ask any questions about any other players, positions, all that kind of good stuff, I am here to do so. And the first question coming from the numbers is Trent a free agent? Trent Brown is not a free agent. He is not. He is still under contract for next season. And then he'll be a free agent in 2024. But he is not a free agent as we speak, unless the Patriots decide to cut him, unless the Patriots decide to try and trade him again. But no, he's not a free agent. He is under contract. You like Walter? Yeah, Dominique. He played pretty good in the preseason. We got my guy EJ in the building, Herman in the building. Shout out to all the members of the channel, man. Means a lot. But yeah, Trent Brown is not a free agent, and it does kind of suck, right? Because we know that we have a need at tackle, right? And we know that Trent can kind of play both tackles if needed, and we know he could play it at a high level. His problem is he's been there, done that with us. I don't think he's going to want to come back and play for the Raiders. I don't think that he'd want to get traded to the Raiders. I don't think that he would sign for the Raiders if he was an open free agent. And plus, he has really big injury problems. Shout out to Caden. He says, how do you like Jermaine Pratt, linebacker from the Bengals? I really like him a lot. He was actually on the list that I talked about in yesterday's live with my brother X. He was on that list of people that I believe the Raiders should target at the linebacker spot. I really, really like him a lot. He's a do-it-all linebacker. He's not the thumper that Denzel Perryman is, but he still comes downhill, fills gaps, fills lanes, makes tackles, can cover on defense as well. Jermaine Pratt can kind of do it all. He's an underrated guy, right? They got superstars on the Bengals defense. They got the guy right there next to him, I believe, is Logan Wilson, a star. We know that defensive line with Hendricks and Hubbard or Sam, whatever their other edge is opposite of Hendrickson. Then they also have their safety. So they're star-studded over there. So he kind of goes under the radar, but I really, really, really like him. Shout out to my guy Chris in the building. Trent wouldn't come back here. Yeah, I don't think so. No chance for Trent to come back here. I don't think he would. I don't think he would come back here at all. Would you spend big on Orlando Brown Jr.? Maybe if it was like 2-3 seasons ago, maybe due to the fact that like 2-3 years ago he still was playing right tackle, which is where we have our biggest need on the offensive line right now. But at the moment, the reason why he went to Kansas City was because he did not want to play right tackle anymore, because he wanted to play left tackle and he wanted to get left tackle money. So it's kind of tough, but I would not spend big on Orlando Brown Jr. Damn, it's kind of lagging. What's going on? Salute, Andy. Shout out to my guy, nothing greater than a Raider, F. Trent Brown. Do you like any of the players that played last night between Georgia and TCU? I mean, that was a shit show, honestly. That was a horrible national championship game. I think that, yeah, there's Jalen Carter. There's the guy that got 2 interceptions for Georgia. He's number 22, I believe. He's kind of leaving my mind right now. He played good. On TCU, I mean, I'm going to be honest, really the only guy that showed up good and bad for TCU last night was Trey Hodges Tomlinson, and I just don't really like him too much, if I'm being honest with you. Hold on. I'm going to refresh this. All right. Hopefully it gets better. Shout out to my guy Omar in the building, man.
Jump out, baby.
He says, we've been too used to everything on the defense, including DC pick. We've been too used. Omar, what do you mean by that, bro? What do you mean? Let me know. Shout out to my guy in the building, man. What's good, my guy Hammer?
What's good, little bro?
None much. Is my screen lagging, bro?
Yes. I just pulled up, and yeah, you're lagging, bro.
That's crazy. But the sound is fine?
Yeah, it sounds fine, but you're like picture-wise, you're lagging.
I don't know what's going on.
Over here doing the robot and shit.
Let's see. Let me see. You know what? Hold on. Talk to him really quick, bro. I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be here talking. My camera's not gonna be on for a second, okay?
Got you.
All right.
What's good, nation? Yeah, EJ even said you're lagging bad. How would you upgrade the O-line? First and foremost, it's new tough. League year. Figure out free agency, the best available guys. I think it's I know a lot of people are saying Colton Miller is still at the top of his game right now, the left tackle position. I kind of am on the fence with him.
Yeah, he's definitely not at the top of his game. He has room for improvement, but if you looked at it, the last time he had a down year, that dude fucking balled. Like he balled in the following year. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with him right now, but at the end of the day, he did have a down year. I am going to say that. He did not play to Colton Miller standards. He was a Pro Bowler last year, you guys.
Right.
But we'll see what happens. We'll see.
Like you have – oh, shit. We have a couple of guys right now. Like I'm looking at a list right now. The free agents this coming off season. At least tackles and right tackles, left tackle. I'm like, we're good. George Fant, Cameron Irving, Mike McGlinchey, Brandon Parker. Hell no.
My thing is that with Mike McGlinchey, he's really used to that system over there in San Francisco, bro. Like he hasn't done like SF hasn't changed in anything for his entire career, right? Colton has been in multiple different systems so far. He definitely had a down year this year. Definitely to his standards that he put up the previous season. Last year he was a Pro Bowler. This year, I think he was the 4th or 5th tackle in the Pro Bowl bowling, which three go to the Pro Bowler. But I don't know. I know Orlando Brown Jr. is a Pro Bowler this year, but that was stupid that he got in, bro. Like that was.
But again, does a Pro Bowl even matter at this point? It's a fucking flag game. Why do they have linemen fucking shit?
It's a flag football game now, but yeah, I don't like Orlando Brown Jr. He's gonna want too much money and he's not gonna want to play right tackle. So no, no thanks. I think it's a lot better right now. So hopefully the fucking thing switched up a little bit and it's not as bad. We bringing back Jermaine Illuminor. I hope not. I'm not a fan. I understand a lot of people are gonna look at the sack count, and I think he only gave up 5 or 6 on the season, which is ultimately good. But when you have like 12 to 15 penalties, nah, I'm good, bro. This is my thing, and it's something that people aren't looking at with Jermaine Illuminor. He's having these problems with penalties in a system he's played in his whole career. Like he's been with the Patriots. He's came here in that system, and he's having the problem again where he's just penalties. And it's like you shouldn't have these mental errors in a system that you're comfortable in. It just doesn't make sense. So for me, it's kind of tough with Jermaine Illuminor. He's done pretty well, though. Like when okay, if I were to take away 10 of his 15 penalties, he's had a good season. But the problem is that you can't take away 10 of his 15 because that's 10 penalties, right? And we know that holding penalties are 10 fucking yards a pop, right? So it's like he alone has had about 150 yards minimum in penalties, and that's not including us having a big play getting called back because of him. That's just the penalty yards. So it's kind of tough with Illuminor. We'll see, man. We'll see.
What do you think of and I know this is a guy that we talked about even as we approached the end of the preseason. What do you think about Isaiah Wynn?
My thing is that with Isaiah Wynn, I know he's going to be a unrestricted free agent, so it could be something to monitor because he's been here. I think his sack count was his lowest last year, but also it was because I think he only played in 12 of the 17 games. So we'll see what's going on with him. He's comfortable in the system. Who knows? Maybe a change of scenery helps. It's happened before with players that we've had. But I think you monitor the situation. I don't think that he's somebody that you think is the long-term fix, though. I think he can work out for a year or two because of how much he knows the system. So it could work. It could. But we'll see what happens. We'll see. I don't think Isaiah Wynn gets anywhere close to 17 to 20, if I'm be honest with you. He does have youth on his side, but nah, man. Alex Barr's got to go as a starter. Andy, you making some funny faces. Yeah, I know the lag came back.
Good God.
The lag came back on me, man. Let's see. I don't know what I need to do.
Look, I know what my issue was last night, and we fixed that shit after 4 takes. I was pissed at myself, and again, whoever was on last night, I sincerely apologize for the terrible, terrible lag. And then finally being able to come on, I was burnt out as fuck after all that shit. So man, I apologize, y'all.
What happened with yours?
I went on with Streamlabs, and I don't know what it was, but the shit was dropping frames. It was lagging horrifically. It disconnected. I was like, yeah, okay. So
Oh,
I ended up
I
having to
saw
use.
because I popped in at the beginning and I saw that I was like, damn, at the beginning that shit was like it lagged out. It stopped at like 13 seconds or some shit.
So I ended up having to use the Melon app instead, which is more or less better than StreamYard. But it worked itself out for like the 45 minutes I went on after that.
Interesting. I'm trying to figure this shit out right now.
Frank White just asked, "What's up with Talk Your Shit Tuesday?" Honestly, I wasn't even gonna come on today, but Lil Bro hit me up in the group chat, so I was like, "Let me just hop on for a little bit." But look, today, I'm probably gonna go to bed after this, realistically, and it's only 7:30 on the East Coast. I'm exhausted.
Hey, my boy's been grinding. He working. Bro, I don't even think the fucking lag went away. Hold on. I'm gonna stay like this and I'm because
What are you using? Your phone?
So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna restart my phone, but I'm still in here. What's good? What's good with my guys in Hammer? Yo, who do we extend? I mean, let me ask you this. What's your thoughts on what's gonna happen with Foster? Because he's on the last year of his deal. Foster Moreau, ideally is somebody you'd like to bring back, right? Because he seemed really excited to be in this offense, right? So it seems like it was ideally it's somebody that you want to bring back for sure, but I don't know. We have a lot of holes, and I don't know how much they're going to value the backup tight end.
I think his value, if I remember correctly, I think is roughly like $9 million. I think.
Right, and you could decrease that with some guaranteed money, you know,
right.
like you can decrease the cap space, and we could play around with it for sure. But you know, I mentioned him in that top 5 video of who I think that the Raiders should bring back, and I didn't even have him as the top 5. I had him as an honorable mention.
Yeah.
So it's kind of tough with that one. I think that him and Duron Harmon, I think they may possibly could be odd men out. Duron because of his age, and then Foster just because he had that moment to break out with Waller out, and it was like we saw it in spurts. We just didn't see any consistency with him. You know,
we saw him make a little bit more of a better effort and execute on plays better. And I'm not sorry when I say this, but when Stidham took the reins against the Niners, he was a little bit more productive.
For sure. I think that something that I really like about Foster is his honesty. If I'm gonna be honest with you, Foster said it himself. He said that since coming into the NFL, he's been very used to working around the production of Darren Waller. My bad. There we go. I think I fixed it now, bro.
Yeah, now you're good. Now you're in sync. You're good now.
Fuck! I think I just saw it lag. All right, whatever. But yeah, he was honest, and I like Foster for being honest, right? He said that he said that he's been pretty used on working off of the production of Darren Waller, which we know it's true, right? Darren Waller bursted onto the scene the year before we picked up Foster, right? And who the fuck knew that he was gonna burst onto the scene the year before? The first year with him, he was gonna be fucking insane. Push for the best tight end in the league because Kelsey kind of had a down year. And then ever since then, he's kind of slowly dropped a little bit lower. But Waller is still that fucking guy, man. And like you said, dude, both of our, like, not only with Foster, both of our tight ends looked a lot more a part of the offense with Stidham, bro. And to me, it was really confusing to me, right? Because with Devontae, without Devontae, I should say, bro, our fucking tight ends were massive pieces of our offenses in every other playbook.
Right.
Like, in every other playbook think about it. The Lee Smiths of the world got paid because Derek Carr would fucking throw him the ball. Jared Cook got fucking paid because Derek Carr would throw him the ball. Darren Waller clearly got paid. So it's like, I don't know what happened. I really don't know what happened with Foster Moreau and Darren Waller this year. Obviously, we know that Darren dealt with some injury, and so did Foster earlier on in the year. There was a point in time where I think our Jesper Horsted was our number 1 tight end for 2 weeks, right?
Yep.
So we dealt with injury at the position, but at the same time, we still had like 10 plus weeks with them, one or the other, and it just wasn't there. until Jarrett Stidham came in. We're like, okay, 77 yards and a touchdown for Waller. And then it's like the next game, he has like another 65 yards. And we're like, oh shit. Like,
and that was the thing. After Stidham's first start, Waller said it almost immediately after the game. Like, look, Stidham was helping these guys throughout OTAs, throughout the preseason with this offensive scheme that none of them were really familiar with, and was trying to show these guys exactly how to make things happen and how to execute on these plays and stuff. Yeah. Look, this dude has been in the league for 4 years. This is the only offense he knows, so I get it. It sucks that the move wasn't made weeks and weeks and weeks ago. Maybe things would have been different, but woulda, coulda, shoulda. But look, these last 2 weeks, you see how much more productive a lot of these guys were with Stidham knowing the offense and what these guys could do. Moreau was solid. Waller coming back was looking solid. Renfro got involved, and we saw a little bit of third and Renfro again. And Tay was still being Tay. So
that's what I was gonna say, right? There was times where we would see Tay go on 2 or 3 games at a time where he wouldn't be involved. Like it would be like 15, 20 yards, 35 yards, and we're like, fuck, dude. Like Devontae Adams literally has a game this season with 3 yards. Like that's ridiculous, right? And it's like, okay, Tay has 1,500 yards and 14 touchdowns. DC mostly threw him those yards and touchdowns, right? We know that Stidham threw him like 2 and like 300 yards. But my thing is that with Stidham, what I really liked what Stidham did that I did not see Derek Carr do enough. And I was complaining at the beginning of the season, we were losing many games in a row. I was complaining. I said, to me, it makes no sense. And I understand that Matt Collins is like 6'5". I get that. But I don't understand why it seemed like DC was more confident throwing the jump ball to Mac than he was to Devontae. When fucking Stidham got in here, he said, fuck this. I'm launching it. And he was just throwing it to Tay. And sometimes, like at the end of the game against the Niners, it kind of looked like, damn, he was throwing to Tay again. And then he got fucking hit and threw a pick, right? But I'm willing to take those fucking risks. You know why? Because with Devontae, it's not a 50-50 ball, bro. It's simply not. It's just not a 50-50 ball at all. With fucking Tate, he's just like, he's an animal, dude. It's like, how do we talk about this? And it's really interesting. I'm excited to see what happens moving forward. Let me ask you this. Did you get to take a look at the list of guys that we brought back for future reserve contracts?
I actually looked at it a little while ago as I saw what your live was about. I saw a couple of names, and look, realistically, these are guys that are future practice squad guys.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's in the name, future reserve contract. Like, these are guys that they're. What I like is that the Raiders are committing to giving them a chance. Right. And at the end of the day, that's all you can ask for when you're a young guy trying to make a name for yourself, right? Is a chance. The 3 guys that really stood out to me on that list was Kanai Mauga, Bryce Cosby. You guys know how big of a fan I am of Bryce, as well as DJ Turner, right? DJ Turner, he's a monster. Or I won't say he's a monster. That excuse me on that. He has potential to have a role in this offense that I think the offense could use, right? Somebody that could line up in the backfield, and do a bunch of and do just like gadget things, right? I like that. And shout out to my guy Raid in the building. This is Hammer House showing love.
Appreciate you, bro.
That hoodie is,
bro. I fucking love this hoodie, bro.
Fire, bro. The fucking hoodie is fire, man.
If you don't know, Redemption Brand. BRNB.com, bro. Yes, cop the hoodies, cop the shirts, cop the hats. I'm still waiting for one specific snapback to be back in stock so I can have it. So, yeah.
Raid, man, if you're still in here, feel welcome to drop your website link in there, bro. Go for it, man. Redemption Brand for those of you guys who do not know. Graham says Tay should have caught the deep ball in the first drive last week. Absolutely, bro. I 100% agree. I do think that there's times where it's like Tay's like an animal, but then it's like I don't expect Tay to make that diving, stretched out catch that he did against the Niners to basically send us into overtime. I don't expect Tay to make that catch, but then I do expect Tay to make that that jump ball catch to begin the game last week, right? It's like it's kind of weird. Sometimes he's like fucking Superman, and then it's like, okay, well, you know what? He's showing us he's human too sometimes. So it's like, well, we'll see. Tay should have caught that though, for sure. For sure. Mitch just ate 12 Del Tacos in 10 minutes. What does that even mean?
He legit ate 12 Del. Man, good luck with the toilet bowl later, man. God damn.
Oh, Mitch just ate like hella food in 10 minutes?
I guess I'm going to have to take a look at that afterwards. Good God. Good luck with the toilet bowl, man.
Shout out to the 210 of you guys in the building, man. If you guys have not already, hit that subscribe button for me. We just hit 7K. Let's go get to 8, man. Let's go get to 8. And as well to my brother Hammer, man. Shout out to Hammer for pulling up. Hammer's house is that fucking simple. Go sub. You can see it on top of his fucking head there, man. It's right there. Let's see. But Aaron also said he doesn't really jump for 50. He likes the ball to fall right in place. This is my thing. And this is something that I don't know how you feel about Tom Brady. That's not really what this live was for, but I kind of want to just talk about it just because why not? My whole thing with Brady is like, I don't like the fucker. But my thing is, I'm a Raider fan. So if he comes in and helps us win games, I'm fucking awful.
Mm-hmm.
But here's my thing, right? One thing that I really thought that we lacked was shout out to EJ. There it is. One thing that I think we lacked in this offense, right, is a Devontae staple, and that's the back shoulder fade. I didn't see that this year. Like, I did not see the back shoulder fade until Stidham came in.
No.
I didn't see the back shoulder fade at all until Stidham came in. And I think that this year, if Brady is to become a Raider, I think we're going to see that a fuck ton, dude.
We will, but we did see it earlier in the season, and I had mentioned this a while back. In one of the matchups in regards to Carr making adjustments, which is a rarity because we know what he likes to do as a quarterback. The first matchup against the Broncos, Patrick Surtain the second had Tay on lock and was
I think that a lot
of
nah, bro. If I'm gonna be honest with you, the ball placement in that game was fucking horrible by DC.
They made adjustments though at one point where they started going back shoulder to him and was executing on that shit.
No, for sure, bro. I think that this is the thing. Personally, I'm not really gonna fault DC for not being super accurate on those back shoulders because he hasn't had somebody that he can do that with. So it's kind of hard, right? But in that game, that first matchup against Denver, he played bad. Like Tay was open, or Tay was in a position where all DC had to do was put the ball in front of him. He stretches his hands out and he gets the touchdown. But the big play, right, where they put it on SportsCenter and fucking ESPN was like 3rd and short. We end up going one-on-one, Patrick Surtain versus fucking Devontae. And Tay's open. He's got his guy boxed out. He fucking DC just needs to put the ball in front of him, and he doesn't. And then Patrick Surtain, like, jumps on his back, gets a fucking PBU, and everybody's like, oh, my God, Patrick Surtain's this fucking crazy good corner. And it's like, yeah, he's fucking good, but Devontae was open. But then we saw in that second game, I mean, holy shit. That man, Devontae said, "Oh yeah, well, how's this?" That boy had him chasing, running behind fucking dust the whole game. Wynn didn't want to play for Belichick and hasn't been happy in New England with Trent Brown. Huh? Trent Brown plays the left tackle position over there now. What? Isaiah Wynn's maybe that's why. Because Isaiah Wynn, I believe, was a left tackle before Trent Brown came back.
Yep.
So maybe that is the case, right? But if that is the case,
Wynn would be here as a right tackle again, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. So we'll see what happens. Pup and Taco was the bomb in my day.
I don't even want to know.
Del Taco's still alive. Stick with Stidham and sign defense. Brian, I wouldn't disagree with that. But there's a thing, right? And I was talking about this with X in my free agent show yesterday. We talk about the term bridge quarterbacks a lot. Like a lot. My thing is that Stidham would be a bridge quarterback. But imagine your bridge quarterback being a 7-time Super Bowl winner. I'm here for it, bro. Like I would do. Like, does Stidham have a Super Bowl in his belt?
How long ago did Brady leave?
4 years, right? Stidham's
been in the league for 4 years, but I really cannot remember if Stidham has a ring right now.
Has Stidham been a part of a New England Super Bowl team, even if he hasn't won it? He's not ready yet. Facts. That man Tay was on his dome. That was funny. Deron Payne, 5 years, $71 million, would require $14.2 million a season. In 2023 would be a lot. My thing is though is that I'm fine with that because let's say on paper, right, that's what it is, $14.2 million a year. Fine, but let's say out of the $71 million, you guarantee 35 of it so that he has 2.5 of the first years guaranteed. And then you have a way out. You have a way out of it at the end of the day, right? And think about it. Deron Payne is 25 years old, bro. He's 25 years old with 4 or 5 years of NFL experience.
You could also consider front-loading that contract too, though.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Guarantee the first 2-3 years, and then you have to pay out. And then your fucking cap hit wouldn't be 14.2. It'd be around like 9.
Yeah.
Which is fine. $9 to $11 million is fine for a guy that could put up fucking 12.5 sacks at nose tackle, bro. Like, look, you think the fucking Patriots, or not the Patriots, you think the Buccaneers won that Super Bowl being cheap? No. They fucking paid Shaq Barrett. They had Devin White. They invested on the defense.
Yep.
If we want to win a Super Bowl, we invest on the defense. We can't be like, I don't want to pay Deron Payne, so I'm going to end up going for a fucking Matt Ioannidis for $6 million and expect the same production, right? No, you can go out and get Deron Payne and also get Matt Ioannidis. That's how you win fucking games because guess what? Now you have depth. So it's tough, man. It's tough because we're kind of spooked, right? In 9 years we haven't been like we have a true quarterback need. Well, now we do because our quarterback is out of here. Like he's done. So we have a true quarterback need, but at the same time, we know Brady's going to take that discount. He's done it his entire year. He's done his entire season career. So we'll see, man. We'll see. Exactly, Chowder. You pay what you get for. Look, good work ain't cheap, man. It ain't cheap. It's not. LaDainian Tomlinson, 11 seasons. Wait, what does this have to do with?
I guess he's talking about running backs with longevity. That's what I'm getting when you're putting that many years out on those running backs.
Bro, I'm so happy the fucking shit stopped lagging on me. Andy, okay, I see what you're saying on Deron Payne and draft Tuli Tuipulotu from USC, allowing us to get that DB or QB at 7. This is my thing, man. The more and more I look at it, we've been saying this almost every single season for like the last 3 years. Trade back. We haven't traded back at all. We haven't done it. Last year, we weren't going to trade out of the fucking third round. Like we weren't going to do that. No. So it made sense to stay. But honestly, if it ever makes sense to trade back, it's this year because you have a top 10 pick. And with the amount of quarterbacks that are going to go in the top 10, there's going to be a good selection of defensive players in the top outside of the top 10. You're going to have basically every good corner outside of the top 10. You're going to have essentially every linebacker outside of the top 10. What you're going to miss out on is the top defensive tackle. But the problem with that is he's going to go at number 3 anyways. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that. I really, really, really would love to contact Houston and try and get that 12th overall pick. I want to slap this dog, man. I would love to contact Houston and get that 12th overall pick, move back 5 spots, and go out and get a DB.
What do they have? They have 12 in the first round, 2 in the first round?
They have 2. So they have the 12th overall and the 2nd overall.
Okay.
So I would love to move back, get Trenton Simpson at 12. Love to move back and get a Cam Smith at 12 or a Joey Porter Jr. at 12. But my thing is, there's so many good corners in this draft. Like, there's a ton of good corners in this draft. So it's like, I don't understand getting a corner in the first round either. I would rather get a great linebacker or a great defensive lineman. And I understand people are going to try and say, well, that doesn't make sense because we've got Max and Chandler. But, bro, getting somebody that impacts the front 7 does major work for the defensive back.
That's where it starts. That's where it starts.
It's tough with me, right? It's tough. I would love to wait and get a Witherspoon or whatever the fuck his name is in the 2nd round, or a DJ Turner in the 2nd round. Something that we're not looking at, you guys, because of how many mocks we've done. We're probably going to have another 2nd or another 3rd round pick this year because of DC. So you can kind of prepare for that or expect that when we're doing these mocks, right? I would love to have I would love to go out and trade into 12 and get a linebacker. As long as it's not Noah Sewell, I would love to. Now, my thing is that I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think so, but we'll see, man. We'll see. Only trade down if Carter is gone, but only 4 spots max. No. Jalen Carter is gone in the top 3. Yeah. Now, if we trade back 4, what's the difference if we trade back 5? Like, who are we missing out on? Like, nobody.
No, not really. But at the same time, like, we're talking about corners as well and potentially taking a corner in the 1st round. We have to look back at last year's draft and where some of these 1st round picks were, and a lot of them were corners, and some of them, specifically Sauce Gardner, has been a fucking dog since he came.
Well, let me ask you this: where the fuck is Jeff Okudah? Fuck is Garyon Conley? Where's all these motherfuckers at?
You're right.
Like, I understand. Invest in a DB. I get it.
Right.
But there's so many in this draft. Like, there's so many. So, yeah. Prayer hands for Andy's mutt. No, this motherfucker just doesn't know when to shut the fuck up. You see how I told him when I said I want to slap this motherfucker? Shut up.
Prince, right? Stingley didn't look too bad either.
We never get the guys we want. It's tough. DJ Turner is a good guy, bro. Honestly, Brady would work but if
please get us a QB like Stroud. I got you. I got him.
QB like Stroud. Well, this is the thing. Imagine we're sitting at 7 and Stroud is on the board. How do you not take Stroud at that value?
It all depends on what some of these teams are looking at. And then when it comes to the situation with Carr and what we could get or what we can't get, look, there's another team. Actually, there's 2 teams right now that, in my opinion, from a lot of things I've been hearing over these last, 48 hours, there's 2 teams that are going to be eliminated from this sweepstakes right now for his services, and that's the New York Jets and that's the New York Giants. A lot of people all of a sudden are very high on Daniel Jones within that Giants organization. He's really done a huge turnaround with Dable's offense. When it comes to the situation with Zach Wilson and the New York Jets, Saleh's saying, I guess, all the right things right now, even though he told Wilson to go sit and read a book. I think ultimately the quarterback that may end up, there might be 2 quarterbacks that end up with the Jets. It could either be Jimmy Garoppolo or Lamar Jackson. So the teams that I'm looking at right now that may try to go after Carr could be the Saints, the Bucks, the Washington Commanders, and depending on who the head coach is, maybe Indy.
But here's my thing, right? It's like this is what I do think. If Stroud is on the board at 7, let me look at the teams that are behind us in the draft. Atlanta's right behind us.
They don't need a quarterback.
They
just got Ritter.
Yeah, but like Ritter played a few games and Ritter looked pretty shitty. Search it up for me, man, if you can. But my thing is that with the teams behind us, they're made like with Stroud being there. If Stroud is there at 7, right?
Falcons, Panthers, they might be looking for a quarterback.
That's what I'm saying, right? So it's
Eagles,
like if
Titans
Stroud
are
is
not
there
looking
at
for
7,
one.
if Stroud is there at 7, we could probably get a haul from the Panthers to get them to move up. Right? So it's like you got to play it a little bit better, right? Like I don't think that we should make a trade now to move up in the draft. It makes no sense. I think the best trades are the trades that are done on draft night. Make a trade on draft night. They're the ones that are the least expected. We saw AJ Brown get traded on draft night. So a lot of things happen on draft night, man. A lot of things happen on draft night. Tennessee might go for Derek Carr. That would be pretty funny because Derek Carr would have nothing in Tennessee.
Don't they have Malik Willis? Like, they already?
They're not liking him, bro. They don't like him
already,
bro. They started him for 2 games and he's had like 60 yards passing in 2 games.
God damn.
Yeah, Malik Willis is not doing good over there apparently. Look at this motherfucker. Look at this motherfucker. Russell, come here. Come on, you want attention? Get your ass in. He wants attention, man.
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
Look, he wants attention. There you go. There's your attention, man. There's your attention, man. There it is.
I have a feeling Bryce is going to drop because of his height and weight.
Ooh, I like this comment right here. He says Zay Flowers is a super sleeper, cut/trade Renfro. I like Zay Flowers. I do. But I don't agree with cutting or trading Renfro.
Look, I've already talked. Look, I'm not even thinking about a slot receiver for this team this coming draft. I'll be looking into one specific receiver in the 2024 draft, and that'll be it. And hopefully he does end up coming here, and that's Xavier Worthy out of Texas.
Bryce is too small, get Stroud. I don't think that Bryce is going to translate in the NFL, if I'm being honest with you. Zeke would make moves. I agree. Zeke is
this is going to be the ultimate test for the front office and our coaching staff this coming off season. We have a 1st and 2nd round draft pick. We might have an additional 1st or an additional 2nd round as well this coming year. So we'll see what happens. But I'm looking forward to seeing what these guys do, and hopefully they make the right moves this time around and really build up this defense.
What do you think about this? Do you think that we keep Matt Collins as wide receiver too?
Yes.
I think. I mean, if you guys, I'm gonna keep referring to it, man. If you guys want to watch the video that I made about the top 5 players that I think the Raiders must re-sign or return, Matt Collins was on that list. I think that I eat my words. Shout out to Graf. He was so high on Matt Collins for whatever the fuck reason, and he was right, bro. Like at the end of the day, not only was this guy worth every penny on special teams, what he added to the offense was major. Now,
everything Brian Edwards was not, which is why we shipped Brian Edwards' ass out of here.
Exactly. But here's my thing, though. DC tends to do shit like force feed a fucking no-name, right?
Fact.
I don't know if a Tom Brady is going to do that. Like, I don't know if Tom Brady's going to see Devontae and see Matt Collins and be like, yeah, I'm going to throw it to Matt Collins. Right?
No, look.
So that's what I don't understand. Like, sometimes, like, what the fuck is DC doing out there, right? But I like Matt Collins. I think he's definitely earned himself a new deal with the Raiders. If I'm not mistaken, I said it was a 2 year, $6.5 million. No, 2 year, like $5.5 million contract where it's like $2.75 million a year.
That's fine because his market value is 2.4, so that's fine. That makes sense.
Right. So it's like something like that. I think that it's worth it, right? Because I think he's 30 now, so you got him until you're 32. I think you give him a contract similar to what we gave Brandon Bolden, because Brandon Bolden should be on the way out of here. Brandon Bolden got a 2-year deal. We cut him this year. We saved 2.5 easily with no dead cap that we have to owe him. So we'll see. Brady throws to the best matchup, absolutely. Andy, would you resign? I believe you're trying to say Harmon. We need a speedster. Oh, Miko Hardman. Miko Hardman. Would I sign Miko Hardman? We need a speedster. No, I don't think so, man. I think that somebody else is going to pay him in the $10+ million range. I don't think so. I think that although this offense, you could say, needs a speedster, this offense doesn't need it. It really doesn't need it. What this offense needs is consistency. If we wanted a speedster, bro, let's just go out and get fucking Rico Gafford. I'm not sure if you guys saw what happened, but today or yesterday, the Chiefs signed John Ross to a future reserves contract. And you know what's crazy? John Ross is only 27. That's insane. So yeah, the Chiefs signed John Ross to a future reserves contract, which means that they're locking him down at least until training camp. And you know damn well they're gonna want to get Patrick Mahomes just throwing that bitch deep and John Ross being down there. So we'll see what happens. I don't think that this offense needs that speedster. I will say this though: if we don't get Mac Hollins, or if we do bring Mac Hollins back, somebody that I would like to see possibly be targeted. There's two guys. That if we wanted to fulfill that number 2 wide receiver role, there's two guys that I would like to see, and it would be Jacoby Myers. I like Jacoby Myers. He has what, like 800, 900 yards this year, or something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that with
the Patriots are sick of him too. So
yeah, so he's a good option. Jacoby may be here. But what do you think about Allen Lazard? He kind of just said that there's no way he's going back to Green Bay, that was his last game. What do you think about Allen Lazard? Or bringing back Nelly?
Isn't Nelly?
But Nelly's a DC guy. You feel me? So
yeah, Nelly's also like owed, what was it, like a 2-year, $25 million contract? Did his value go up?
No, Nelly's a free agent.
Yeah, but I'm saying his market value, did it go up?
Oh no, it fucking tanked.
Okay.
Dude, it hasn't. Come on, man.
And with Jacoby Myers, yeah, he had 67 receptions for 804 yards, 6 touchdowns this season. So not bad. Lazard,
I wouldn't mind it.
I wouldn't mind it just because, again, like, look, he played on the other side with Tay before. I think that would work itself out. And look, if Brady does in fact become that quarterback for us, this dude, I'm seeing it more with Tampa than I really did with New England, because I guess I really never paid attention to New England. But he really does spread the ball around to his offensive weapons. And that's something that we saw from Stidham these last 2 weeks. So I'm here for it, man. Like,
you're saying Brady spreads the ball around?
Yeah. I definitely saw it a lot more in Tampa. Like I said, I really didn't pay attention to New England, but with Tampa, he definitely spreads the ball around to all his weapons.
The thing is with Tampa is like, here's the thing, is that in Tampa, they don't have a tight end. So he's really spreading the ball out to his receivers. But we don't Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, like, that's a really good number 1, number 2. Like, that's really good. I know that I think Chris Godwin was hurt again this year or some shit like that. So there's that to look at. But now, yeah, that's a hell of a 1-2 combo. I think that here, having Devontae, having Renfro, having Waller, possibly having Jacobs, it's like, I don't even know where the fuck Brady's going to want to go with the ball at that point, right? This is my thing. I feel like Brady, what I really like about him is how he plays with so much emotion. But I do think that if we brought in a guy like Allen Lazard that has drop problems, he would not throw the ball to fucking Allen Lazard if he had like 3 fucking drops. He's like, this dude's a fucking scrub. Yeah, he'll be like, this dude's a scrub. Get him out of here, right? Yeah. Like A-Rod kind of was forced to keep throwing the ball to him because Lazard was like the only other option there outside of Devontae. So he had to, but it was like, with Brady, he's going to be like, no, I got Hunter, I got Waller, I got Jacobs, I got Devontae. It's kind of like, you want to drop passes? Fuck you. So it's like, I don't know. Lazard is a big body receiver, but he's a big body receiver that stretches the field. and doesn't really go up and get 50-50 balls. Jacoby Myers, Nelly Lazard, and Nathaniel Dell out of Houston had over 1,000 receiving yards, 17 TDs. Oh, Nathaniel Dell.
Okay.
And a great returner. Oh, that's good. That's good. Ooh.
Jackpot, baby!
Fleece Rams, Aaron Donald, since they're going to rebuild. Aaron Donald won't play for any other team. Let me be honest.
Everybody thought he was going to retire after the Super Bowl, so I'm not taking a flyer on that one.
He won't play for any other team in the NFL. I think that if you're going to fleece the Rams, the biggest contract on that team right now in terms of cap space is Jalen Ramsey. And if I'm going to be honest with you, if you trade for him, you could give him a new deal that's more team friendly. You could give him more guaranteed money that works for him. He's like 28. I'm not going to lie, bro. Ramsey's wanted to be a Raider. Ramsey, he plays feisty like a Raider. I would love it. I just don't think it's gonna happen, man. I don't think it would happen. But I think that the price would be way too high for Ramsey or Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald is unrealistic. Trade for Ramsey and put him at free safety. I would love that.
That'd be sick.
Tremaine Edmonds from the Bills would be legit best linebacker available in free agency easily. We have to go get David Long from the Titans and Terrell Edmonds from the Bills. Yeah, Tremaine Edmonds, man. Tremaine Edmonds. I think I said Terrell Edmonds.
Wait, Edmonds is the defensive back, right?
Terrell Edmonds is the DB from Pittsburgh, the safety. But then Tremaine Edmonds is the linebacker from Buffalo. So that's why I kind of fucked it up there. I would like the Colts second-round pick. Do the Colts have a second-round pick from what they traded for Matt Ryan?
I don't think so.
Stephon Gilmore is not a free agent unless he just got released right now, which I will check. But Gilmore's not a free agent, and if he is, you fucking get him today. Like, bro. Dalvin Tomlinson and Tremaine Edmonds brothers? D-Hop is weak? Nah, man. You see the quality?
Where is fucking Hopkins going?
Oh, man, dude. I'll tell you this, bro. If the Packers get D-Hop, Aaron Rodgers is coming back.
Yeah.
CJ Gardner-Johnson is a stud. He is, but he's going to want like 16 mil a season, bro. He has like 6 picks on the year and hasn't played in like 4 or 5 weeks. Like, the dude is a monster. He left New Orleans and literally just went crazy. Tremaine Edmonds is for sure a 3-down linebacker. Who would take Jacobs' pick as their QB1 if they had a choice? Brady. Simple.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, we heard it more or less from that last presser last week from Tay. Pretty much he wasn't going anywhere, so everybody putting that shit out. Oh, he's going to follow card. That's not happening. And look, they're going to let him have –
with all due respect.
He's going to be sitting in there with these guys having this discussion on, who do you want your next quarterback to be? That's
with all due respect, right? He loves DC. That's his brother for life.
Right.
You really think he wants to play with fucking Derek Carr? The production he put up there, no. He don't want to play with him, man. Tremaine and Terrell, yeah, I think they are brothers, yes. Colts had the 35th pick in the second round. It's early too. Great for the Raiders. I would like that because I believe we have the 38th. So if we have like 3 picks in the top 40, that would have us like 4 picks in the top 60, 70 or some shit like that. That'd be dope.
Could you see our pick from Carr being conditional? And hell no. There's no way in hell that's happening.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
No, they're going to want to return on that immediately. I think DC had an attitude and didn't show up. If you're spending money on Donald, might as well get a younger DT like Jeffrey Simmons. Jeffrey Simmons literally stated yesterday he wants to play the rest of his career with the Titans. Now, players love saying that when it's a contract year so that the team can fucking pay him.
Yep.
So who knows? Who knows? Didn't support backup. What do you mean?
He means that DC didn't support Stidham.
Oh yeah, that's fucked up. I don't like that at all.
Look, we see what his brother was doing with all this trolling shit and airing out everything to the public, and then putting these stupid fucking pictures up every week.
That's
The
fine. I
Niners,
don't have
the
a
families
problem.
decked out in Niners gear. The day of the game against the Chiefs, he's got a picture hugging Mahomes. Like, fuck you.
Yeah,
Fuck you.
yeah, to me that's fine. He can do all that kind of shit. He's a grown ass man. Just know that he's a bitch. As long as he knows that.
Well, Jacobs was in New York last year as well around this time.
Yeah,
so.
he has a bunch of endorsement deals.
Yeah.
Wentz pick. Also, brother, if he was in New York and either the Giants or the Jets had anything to do with it, the Giants are getting hit with all kinds of fines and everything because that's not allowed right now. So yeah.
Barkley's going to be locked in with the Giants anyway, so stop, please.
Hargrave or Payne go all out. I would love Hargrave. He's the older one of the two, so maybe possibly cheaper. But Hargrave, I don't think is a nose. I think he's a 3-10. So we'll see. Patriot way is to stack picks. They would gladly take the conditional. We'll see. With DC trade, personal getting hired, plus comp picks, we'll have close to 20 picks. But I think you can only have 14 picks in the draft. They don't allow you to have more. Hammer and Andy was good. My friends was good. My guy Brave Raider in the building.
What's up, Brave?
Andy Hammer. Chandler Jones going into his 12th season worries me about his production. I think that Chandler Jones needs to play in the preseason so he can get his feet back under him, and then he can start the season off in a running. That's
what was it with his injury? It was the elbow, right?
Yeah, it was the elbow injury.
Chandler, he'll be back.
That's fine. What's up, Andy and Hammer was good. My guy Kenny. Giants got Barkley and Breece Hall was special before he got hurt. New York teams don't need a running back exactly.
Right.
Chandler is tight with Brady. He will come back if he comes. That'd be dope. Anthony. So look, we've been on here for an hour. I talked about the guys that we signed to future reserve contracts. I mentioned my top 3 guys being Bryce, DJ Turner, and Kanai Mauga. Those being my top 3 guys, and I'm excited for the for those future reserve contracts and excited to see what they can do in training camp. Is there any last words that we want to get out of here or that we want to get out before we head out?
Not that I could think of.
Not that
covered everything.
The only thing that I could think of is if y'all have not already, man, hit that sub button on your way out. Also hit that little notification bell so that when I go live, y'all are right here with me. And shout out to the 280 people in here today. I appreciate every single one of you guys that pulled up. As always, man, if y'all have not subscribed to Hammer, it's right above his fucking head. Like I said, hit that sub button on Hammer's channel. Go show him some love. And, yeah, man, on the way out, hit the like button. I love y'all. As always, stay safe. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm out, you guys. Peace.
Welcome to the Death Star, where our opponent's dreams come to die.